Hey, how's it going? So today's video is going to be a little different. Today I am not going to be doing a review on a firearm. I'm actually going to be doing this review on a knife that I have been carrying for the last 8 months as of today. And it is the Boker Urban Survival. Um, this knife was designed by Jim Wagner. You can see the Wagner design on there, even though I have ripped this blade up quite a bit from use. It is a Wagner design. Jim Wagner, who is a self-defense specialist, former SWAT police officer, travels around training different people, different groups on self-defense tactics and protection. And he designed this knife. Now, Jim Wagner with this knife would probably be a pretty threatening person. Me, on the other hand, I would say no, because I am not trained in knife fighting or really any kind of self-defense with a knife. So with that said, this is my everyday carry knife that I will carry when I also have this. So if I do not have this, then I will typically go with something more along the lines of something like this knife, or a assisted opening knife, something like along the lines of this. If I'm going to a location where I know that I can't carry a firearm, I'll go with something with a little larger blade, or substantially larger blade, just for self-defense needs. Now with that said, if I were to find myself in the midst of a knife fight, my first priority is to get out of the way, just because, like I said, I am in no way trained for those situations. But with that said, for a everyday carry knife, just to use around the workshop or home or whatever it may be, this is awesome. Now, like I said, I do typically carry this on a daily basis, and I do use it multiple times a day. I'm a person who will reach for their pocket knife 3-4 times a day for different reasons, and you can kind of tell that by the wear on this blade, where it had been black before, and even on the handle of this knife. You can see the wear of me carrying it. But even though it does have that wear, the blade, I've never sharpened this blade, and it still does have a really good edge. There is you can kind of see that chip there in the blade. And that's just from me being dumb and trying to loosen screws and doing things along like that with it. But for cutting zip ties and boxes and tape and things along those lines, it's still very much capable of doing so. So like I said, this knife was designed by Jim Wagner. Closed length is 4 1/8 inches. Overall length open is around 5 2/3, with a blade of 1 5/8 inches. The blade is made out of 440C stainless steel. You can see that 440C marking there on the blade, and the handle is made of aluminum, which makes this extremely lightweight, and which is another reason why I like carrying this knife. Now it is, they consider it a pen knife because of the slenderness of it and the length, and with the pocket clip, you could put that onto a shirt pocket and wear it, and really not draw any kind of attention of anyone thinking you have a pocket knife. Now it does come equipped with the glass breaker there on the end, but when you receive it in the Boker box, still got the paperwork in there for it. It comes in the box like so. It does also come with a extra tip that you can switch out, and this tip kind of looks like an ink pen, a clicker on an ink pen, and with a tool like this that has kind of like a little small wrench type tool with the notches that will fit into the notches in that glass breaker, so you can switch that out and put this other tip on it if you would like, and really wear it on like a shirt pocket or something like that, and draw no attention of anyone thinking that you have anything other than just a ink pen clipped onto your shirt pocket. So this knife does have the thumb studs for assisted opening. It does take a little bit of getting used to, just because of the length of the handle and the smallness of the blade. As you can see there, it does have the liner lock to lock in place. So it is pretty easy with the assisted opening. Now, some places you aren't allowed to have a knife with the thumb studs like that for the one-handed opening. So it does come with this little Allen wrench as well, so you can take that off if local law states that you aren't allowed to have something like that. So the reason I purchased this knife, which now this style is probably a few years old, they have come out with a newer style, which has like a handcuff key, and it's got a different tip on it, and it seems like they've kind of directed it towards the use of law enforcement. But this knife, initially I had seen this thing selling. MSRP from Boker is around $50. I think it's around 48 bucks. And I like the knife, I like the style, I like the size, I like the weight of it, but I'm not a real big knife guy, and I didn't want to pay 50 bucks for something that I would use only for work-related issues. But after the new style came out, I was online looking at knives, and I found this one on sale for $25. And I will say, for 25 bucks, well worth it. Like I said, I've already gotten $25 worth of usage out of this knife over the last 8 months, as much as I have used it. So if you are in the market for a good knife to use for odd jobs around the house, around the workshop, small blade, defined blade, which they call this blade a scalpel blade. It's kind of like a recurved tanto blade. Be sure to check this out. I think you'll get your usage out of it. And if you are a lefty, if you do use that tool to take this glass breaker off, this pocket clip is reversible as well. So this thing only weighs 1.5 ounces. So you could carry this along with another knife if you would still prefer to carry like a defensive carry knife. You could still carry this, and it's not going to weigh you down, and you're not going to really feel that extra weight. But if you can go online, find this for maybe $25, $27, around that mark, maybe even cheaper by now, most definitely check it out. I think you'll get great usage out of it, and like I said, that blade really holds an edge. So the Boker Urban Survival, designed by Wagner, awesome knife, holds up well, great for many different uses and well worth the money. So be sure to check it out. Thanks.